Varadharaja Perumal Temple at Hastagiri or Attiyuran is a Hindu temple dedicated to Lord Vishnu. Located in the holy city of Kanchipuram, Tamil Nadu, India. It is one of the Divya Desams, the 108 temples of Vishnu believed to have been visited by the 12 poet saints, or Alwars. It is located in a suburb of Kanchipuram known as the Vishnu Kanchi that is a home for many famous Vishnu temples. One of the greatest Hindu scholars of Vaishnava VisishtAdvaita philosophy, Ramanuja, is believed to have resided in this temple. The temple, along with Ekambareswarar Temple and Kamakshi Amman Temple in Kanchipuram, is popularly known as Mumurtivasam, abode of trio, while Srirangam is referred to as the Koil, meaning temple, and Tirupathi is the Malai, meaning hill. Among the Divya Desams, Kanchipuram Varadharaja Perumal Temple is known as the Perumal Koil. This is one of the most sacred places for Vaishnavites. There is another famous temple of Varadarajaswamy in Kurmai, of Palamaner mandal in Chittoor district of Andhra Pradesh, called the Kurma Varadaraja Temple. Legend: Indra, the king of celestial deities, after getting released from the curse of goddess Saraswati, installed the silver and golden lizards who were the witness of the ordeal. Brahma performed a yajna here, which was about to be washed away by the fast-flowing river Vaishnavites. The temple deity, Vishnu, laid himself flat to stay the flow and the yajna was successfully performed. Vishnu emerged with brilliance of thousand suns as Varadaraja and stayed here permanently. As is the case with the association of South Indian temples with a sacred tree. The name of the temple, Attiyuran, is derived from Atti tree, considered sacred to Vaishnavas. As per Hindu legend, Brahma, the Hindu god of creation, separated with his wife Saraswati over a misunderstanding. He did an Aswamedha worship with a horse, seeking boons from Vishnu. Vishnu was pleased by the devotion and came out from under the earth as a boar and got Saraswati unite with Brahma. As per another legend, Saraswati cursed the king of celestial deities, Indra, to become an elephant and roam around the place. He was relived off the curse with the divine power of Vishnu, who appeared as the Mount Hastagiri. Attiyuran indicates a mount in the form of elephant. As per another legend, the disciples of sage Gautama were cursed to become lizards. They resided in the temple and were relieved of the curse by the divine grace of Vishnu. There is a panel in the temple where the two lizards are depicted in the roof of the temple. Thirukachi Nambigal, also known as Kanchipuram, was an ardent devotee of this temple. He used to bring flowers every day from Puvara on Diwali, where he maintained a garden. He did Alavata Kaingariyam, waving to produce breeze with the help of hand fan. It is believed that Varadaraja used to converse with him while he was doing that. Siva Alavata Kaingariyam is a worship practice followed in modern times also. Nambi also composed a Varadaraja, a Sanskrit poem of 8 verses, on the presiding deity, Sri Ramanuja. Another great Vaishnavite got answers to his 6 questions from Lord Varadaraja through Sri Thirukachi Nambigal. History. There is a belief that the temple was first built by the Pallava king Nandivarman II. Varadharaja Perumal Temple was originally built by the Cholas in 1053 and it was expanded during the reigns of the great Chola kings Kulatunga Chola I and Vikrama Chola. In the 14th century another wall and a gopura was built by the later Chola kings. When a Mughal invasion was expected in 1688, the main image of the deity was sent to Udayapalayam, now part of Tiruchirappalli district. It was brought back with greater difficulty after the involvement of local preceptor who enlisted the services of General Todumal. Robert Clive, the British general during the colonial period, visited the Garuda Seva festival and presented a valuable necklace, now termed Clive Mahakandi, which is adorned during a special occasion every year. There are inscriptions dated 1532 CE, record 544 of 1919, indicating the gift of number of villages made by Ashuttaraya Vira Nrsingaraya Saluvanayaka, who was directed by Ashuttaraya, broke the royal order by giving more lands to Ekambareswarar temple than the Varadarajaswamy temple against the instruction of an equal gift to either of the temples. Ashuttaraya, on hearing this, equally distributed the lands to both the temples. In modern times, the administration is carried out by Hindu religious and endowment of the government of Tamil Nadu. There are inscriptions dated 1532 CE, record 544 of 1919, indicating the gift of number of villages made by Ashuttaraya Vira Nrsingaraya Saluvanayaka, who was directed by Ashuttaraya, broke the royal order by giving more lands to Ekambareswarar temple than the Varadarajaswamy temple against the instruction of an equal gift to either of the temples. Ashuttaraya, on hearing this, equally distributed the lands to both the temples. There is an inscription from the 13th century from the Hoysalas, indicating a gift of a crown to the presiding deity. During the 17th century, the temple was under the attacks from Mughals headed by Aurangzeb. The idols of the temple were ported to Udayapalayam in modern-day Tiruchirappalli districts during 1688. It was only during 1710 that the situation was ripe for the idols to be returned. But the chieftain of Udayapalayam opposed the move, and only after the intervention of Paramahamsa Paravajikacharya at Tangier, the idols were returned. The event is commemorated as a festival in the temple. The Thathacharyas are the custodians of the Kanchipuram Varadaraja Koil, popularly known as Varadharaja Perumal Temple. They are the Pradhana Acharya Purushas in the protocol to receive and deliver the temple honours. In retrospection, Tirumalai Nambi's son Tirukurukai Piran was ordained by Ramanuja himself as the first and foremost among the 74 Pitadhipathas to propagate VisishtAdvaita philosophy after him. Pilan was also chosen by Ramanuja as the competent person to write the commentary on Tiruvaimoji. The annotation of Tiruvaimoji, thus brought out by Pilan under the behest of Ramanuja, is called the famous Arayapadi, the first gloss in Manipravala, an elegant mixture of Tamil and Sanskrit words, on the Divya Prabandham. After Pilan, Tirumalai Srinivasacharya Thathacharya in the fifth generation of Thathacharyas was installed by Vedanta Desika as the Sri Karyam of the Varadaraja Perumal. Since then the office of Sri Karyam is institutionalized in the diligence and devotion of the Thathacharyas to the Varadharaja Perumal Temple in Kanchipuram. Lakshmi Kumara Thathakariya inherited this mantle from his ancestors and made epoch-making contributions to the temple annals. He was the Sri Karya Durandara, a phrase connoting absolute dedication and authority of the temple affairs. Simultaneously he was also the Raja Guru of the Vijayanagar King Venkatapati Deva Maharaj in Iyengakulam, a village named after him near Kanchipuram. He built a Tankan temple to Sri Rama and Hanuman. In the modern days the temple is administrated by the Tamil Nadu government through the Ministry of Hindu Religion and Charitable Endowments, having the Thathakariyas as the honorary trustees. Architecture. The temple covers an area of 23 acre, 93,000 square meters. Complex and shows the architectural skills of ancient Vishwakarma Sthapathas in temple architecture and is famous for its holiness and ancient history. The temple has three outer precincts, prakarams, namely Aswar Prakaram, Madipali Prakaram and Thirumalai Prakaram. There are 32 shrines, 19 vimanams, 389 pilled halls, most having the lion-type Yali sculpture, and sacred tanks, some of which located outside the complex. The temple tank is called Anantathirtham. The main sanctum faces west and can be entered through a 130 feet tall, seven-tiered Rajagopuram main gateway tower. The hill, called Hastagiri, is 360 meters, 1,180 feet long by 240 meters, 790 feet. The eastern Gopuram is taller than the western Gopuram, which is contrasting to large temples where the Rajagopuram is the tallest one. One of the most famous architectural pieces in the temple is the huge stone chain sculpted in a single stone. There is a 100-pilled hall which has sculptures depicting Ramayana and Mahabharata. It is a masterpiece of Vijayanagara architecture. Hastagiri has murals of the late Vijayanagara Empire on the ceiling. Another significant features of the temple are beautifully carved lizards and gilded with gold. Over the sanctum. The Vimana over the sanctum of Varadarajaswamy is called Punyakoti Vimanam, and the one over Perandavithaya shrine is called Kalyana Vimanam. Apart from the main stone idol, the temple has the wooden image of Varadarajaswamy preserved within a silver box from which water is pumped out every 40 years. It is kept back in the silver casket and immersed in the water. It is believed that there is a heavy downpour after the idol is immersed to fill the tank. The presiding deity is a 10 feet, 3.0 meters, tall idol made of granite in standing posture, while Thaya is a 4 feet, 1.2 meters, image in sitting posture. There is a shrine of Nrsimha on the hillock. The origin of the mask of Nrsimha is mysterious and believed to possess inexplicable powers. In the second precinct, downstairs contains 4 shrines, of which the important one is of Malala Nasha, Kerala consort, presumably built during the Chera kings in the early 14th century. There are images of Alwars and Ramanuja in the second precinct. The third precinct has the shrine of goddess Perandavithaya. It is customary for devotees to visit the shrine first before visiting the main Perumal shrine. There are 4 small pilled halls, identical in structure, called Thulabhara Mandapis, built during the 1532 for a ceremony of Ashutaraya of the Vijayanagara Empire. The 7 precincts are called Pradakshina Pada, Hastagiri Pradakshana, Madipali Pragara, Alavanda Pragara and Aswar Tiruvidi. The Alavanda Pragara houses lot of shrines of the temple. The temple has 2 towers on the eastern and western sides, which are 180 feet, 55 meters, and 160 feet, 49 meters, tall respectively. There is a 100-pilled hall, which has ornate carvings, notable of which being a stone chain. The temple car is believed to have been donated by Krishnadeva in 1517 CE. There are paintings in the temple commissioned during the 16th century during the rule of Vijayanagar kings. There is a shrine of Chakratajwar on the eastern side of the temple tank. The image of Chakrathasvar, Sudarsana, in the temple is depicted with 6 hands. Their festival image of the temple has 7 different images of Sudarshana depicted within the same chakra. There are 2 entrances to the shrine as the 2 images are considered to be separate. The shrine is believed to have been constructed during the time of Kulodunga III during 1191 CE. By Alavahagan Kalingaran of Netta as seen from the inscriptions in the temple. The later additions are presumably made by Vijayanagar Empire during the 13th or early part of 14th century. The kings also added pillared columns in the leading hall sculpted with figures from Ramayana and various forms of Vishnu. The Thathacharyas are the custodians. 5. Of the Kanchipuram Perumal Koil, popularly known as Varadharaja Perumal Temple. They are the Pradhana Acharya Purushas in the protocol to receive and deliver the temple honours. In retrospection, Tirumalai Nambi's son Tirukurukaipiran Pillan was ordained by Ramanuja himself as the first and foremost among the 74 Pitadhipathas to propagate VisishtAdvaita philosophy after him. Pillan was also chosen by Ramanuja as the competent person to write the commentary on Tiruvathi emoji. The annotation of Tiruvathi emoji thus brought out by Pillan under the behest of Ramanuja is called the famous Arayapadi, the first gloss in Manipravala, an elegant mixture of Tamil and Sanskrit words, on the Divya Prabandham. After Pillan, Tirumalai Srinivasacharya Thathacharya in the fifth generation of Thathacharyas was installed by Vedanta Desika as the Srikaryam of the Varadaraja Perumal. Since then the office of Srikaryam is institutionalized in the diligence and devotion of the Thathacharyas to the Varadharaja Perumal Temple in Kanchipuram. Lakshmi Kumara Thathadesikan inherited this mantle from his ancestors and made epoch-making contributions to the temple annals. He was the Sri Karya Durandara, a phrase connoting absolute dedication and authority of the temple affairs. Simultaneously he was also the Raja Guru of the Vijayanagar king Venkatapati Deva Maharaj in Ayingakulam, a village named after him near Kanchipuram. He built a Tankan temple to Sri Rama and Hanuman, but in present period the temple is administrated by the Tamil Nadu government through the Ministry of Hindu Religion and Charitable Endowments, having the Thathacharyas as the honorary trustees. There is a verdict going on in the courts to re-establish the right of administration entirely with the Thathacharya families as it was existing before 1975 A.D. Literary mention. Thirumangai spent all his wealth and taxes towards the building of the temple, and the king punished him for not paying the taxes and losing wealth of the kingdom. A divine voice informed the king in his dreams that he can pick up wealth from a nearby place and relieve Thirumangai. Thirukachi Nambi was an ardent devotee of Varadaraja. He used to come a long way every day to the temple to offer his worship. During his old age, he was privileged to converse with God. Ramanuja, the preceptor of VisishtAdvaita philosophy, was tricked by his master and was plotted to be killed. But by the grace of divinity, he was masked as a hunter and escaped the event. He later came back to the temple to the making of the Vaishnava philosophy. Vedanta Desika, the revered polymath next only to Ramanuja, mentions the annual 10-day festival celebrated in May. In one of the verses, he graces the deity as under. He is the single root source for this entire universe, beginning with space, and all other elements, like the pupil in the eye of the Vedas. Quote, Vedanta Desika, of Thoropil, visits Varadharaja Perumal once a year during the month of Puratasi, Sept. 2 October. This is the only Divya Desam where Desika enters the sanctum of Lord Varadaraja. No other Asvar has this privilege. The temple also finds mention in the Thirtha Prabandha, a travelogue with descriptions of pilgrim centers throughout India written by Sri Varadaraja Tyagaraja and Muthuswami Dikshitar. The celebrated composers of the 18th century created compositions on the festival. Thirumangai Alvar 4 Parshurams, Buthatulva 2 Parshurams and Payalva 1 Parshuram. Festival and religious practices. The temple is famous for its huge umbrella used during festive occasions. During the Brahmotsavam, major festival, in Vaigasi, May, June, thousands of people throng the temple and it increases at least by a twofold during the Garuda Vahanam and the there Tiruvira procession. The priests of the temple are believed to be the descendants of Yagyavalkya. Gallery. Notes. Local government page. Indian temples article. Photos of Varadharaja Temple. 1280 by 960. About Kanchipuram Divya Desams. News report on Brahmotsavam.